Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the latest edition of the Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar Podcast. I'm your host, Jacob Elyachar, the chief content producer and writer of jakestake.com, a pop culture entertainment news website. If you're watching this on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're listening to this on any of our audio platforms, please give us a 5-star rating. Please subscribe and please download the podcast. I'm very excited to introduce my guest today. She is an actress who was seen in Modern Family, My Name is Earl, and Parks and Rec. And also, she also was on a certain movie called Anchorman. In addition to that, she is a leader of established cryptocurrencies, and she's also the chief marketing officer of eCoin Finance. And she's known as the Crypto Queen. And as of this recording, she has over 1.1 million followers on Instagram. So please help me welcome Darcy Donovan.
Hey everybody! How you doing?
Darcy.
How you doing, Jack?
I'm doing good, Darcy. Thank you so much for taking time out of the schedule to talk with me today. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, I'm excited to be here, and we're going to have a lot of fun.
Let's do that. So, first of all, when did you get interested in acting, and how did that passion evolve to desire to pursue a career in the entertainment industry?
Well, when I was a little kid, I put, shows on for my family. And, it was just one of those things where, I would go the children's hospital and I put these little shows on, for the kids and their parents there. But my first professional job was a national commercial. And, but I actually didn't really enjoy it. Because the other kids couldn't remember their lines. So I was remembering their lines and my lines. And I was like, this is not fun. So I actually, in fact, because we did so many takes, I remember the entire commercial. But, but my passion has really, been everything in entertainment. I mean, as a whole, recording artist, I've done film and television acting, producing. I'm a writer. And I'm also a film composer. So, kind of encompasses everything, and an author too. I wrote a book. So
that's just amazing that you've done a lot of all these amazing stuff.
Well, thank you. Well, I mean, I'm an A-list personality. I've just got that, I can't just sit on my butt, but, I love my family, but they're not really how can I say it? They're just not really, oh, that's great. I'm like, hey, mom, God, I got 7 million followers, and we just got another 1 million, and I'm so excited. And she's like, yeah, that's great. Hey, did you take the dog to the groomers? Did you take it? She does stuff like that. I mean, she's just. I'm literally telling her hey, mom, I'm doing something with Brad Pitt in this movie, and I'm really excited. Oh, that's great, Brad Pitt. Okay, well, wonderful. Hey, did you get that cake recipe I sent you on the internet? It was great. They had it on the Kelly Clarkson show. I'm like, okay. So I don't win no matter what I do. I could tell her, I'm a billionaire. I just made $1 billion off it. Oh, that's great. I need 10,000 of it right now because they got a sale going on for the dogs, for dog sweaters. Yeah.
I know it's amazing that I have family like that. That it reminds me, okay, stay humble, stay kind. And when I tell them, oh, I got Howie Mandel on my podcast, I'm like, that's awesome. But when I tell people about who I have on my podcast, they're like, it goes over their heads.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is it's when I've done press interviews and radio interviews and stuff like that, people are like, God, you've got this huge resume, and they just go on. And I'm just like, I'm like, okay, I don't really think anything about it. I'm just like, oh, thanks, but I don't know. I always feel like I can do better. I always feel like I need, I'm like, we should have done this, or, the album, we should have finished it, and my business manager's like, it's done. We did a great job. We don't need to go in the studio anymore. And I'm like, no, I think I would just keep tweaking things to probably drive people crazy. So, that's one of my things that I have that I need to work on.
Same with me. I always have to have some perfection perfectionists as well, especially in our industry.
Yeah, but you know what? I think that's good because I do see a lot of, people in the entertainment industry that they don't, strive for. I mean, obviously you can't ever, there's nothing as in turn of being perfect, but I would say strive for excellence. Strive to be your best person, strive to be, the best. And, the best, run your own race. Everybody's got a different way that they made it, a different way that they became successful. So, you can't sit here and be unhappy for people, because if you become unhappy for people, then it's like when it's your time to shine, nobody's going to want to be happy for you. So, I always try to lift my, friends up, and I want them to be successful. And, that's one of the main reasons why I got in the entertainment industry, to kind of change it as a whole, to make it better. And, people, want to be in it, and it's not like so crazy.
Absolutely, because the thing is, I always try to play for longevity. Two of my heroes, Regis Philbin and Barbara Walters, were in their 80s when they retired, and
Yeah.
I want to be like them and have a career and go for longevity versus success and crash and burn.
Right. Yeah, for that quick thing, I mean, some people are like, oh, let me, do shock value. Let me do this. And I'm like, that's just a fly in the pan. Yes, you do want longevity. You want people to take you serious and not look like you're just a flash in the pan, I guess. Was it flash in the pan?
Yes, it is. Flash in the pan is always great. It's always great.
Yeah.
Or burnout.
Right. You want to make a legacy. And, I love what you had to say, because, I personally don't believe in retirement, because I know people that the minute they retire, it's like they don't nothing. It's like they have nothing to go for. So, I have friends, that I've seen, their kids are like, millionaires, billionaires, and their kids don't want to do nothing because they don't have any. They're like, yeah, I got everything. I don't need to work for anything. You know what I mean? So sometimes I think if you have that hustle, I came from nothing. And, when you have to scrape and hustle and, every penny, and you're like counting coupons, and, it makes you humble, but it also makes you more real. And, like, this is where it came from. I know what's up. You know what I mean? So
I totally know what you mean. I totally know what you mean, Darcy. So we can go. I'm feeling we can talk about this, but we got to start talking about your work, because I'm looking at your resume is amazing. I'm like, so All My Children, Modern Family, My Name is Earl, Parks and Rec. You have a lot of experiences on so many different sets, no matter if it's soap opera or comedy. So what were some of the lessons that you learned from those sets that helped you grow as a performer?
Okay. Well, from being on the sets, that you mentioned, it helped me to learn a lot about the terminology, backlighting, knowing your mark. That's really important. A lot of new actors coming in, they don't know about that. So, me talking to you like this, I mean, if it was on set, there'd be, maybe a camera here, but I'd have to stop, and then it might be to where you're right here and I have to deliver to the camera. So sometimes it can be awkward and you still have to act. Does that make sense? So it's like, you got to know your mark, understand your framing, about yourself, how you're going to do your angles, the picture, and you also got to know how to play off, other actors, and, and in a professional environment. There's different film sets, you definitely know the ones that are, the A-list, the professional, from something that's just, more independent. And, there's an etiquette and that you need to have, especially if you're going to be, if you're definitely a professional. There's just an etiquette of the way to act and be on set.
Absolutely, because the thing is, I've heard from a lot of my guests, it says you need to make sure you need to make sure you come prepared, bring your A++ game, and also make sure you don't spill any drama from previous sets onto this set.
Amen. Yeah. And I mean, the thing is you don't have to feed into, like, if there's something going on, I mean, you got to think there's millions of dollars budget. It's, or billions of dollars on the line. There's directors and they're going to bark at you, and they're going to, because they want to get the best scene, and they need to try to get if everybody's talking and nobody's paying attention, then, that takes away from what's got to get done. And the way I tell people is you have to think of it like a coach, like on a football field. If you're going for the Super Bowl, the coach ain't going to be like, it's okay, go down the field, I hope you get down there, don't hurt yourself. No, that's not how they do it. My dad's a coach, so they're professional, but they're gonna let you have it, and they're gonna say, hey, come on, like military style. And that's kind of how it is on certain sets. It just depends. I mean, I've worked on sets where it's like, it's more lackadaisy, it's like, okay, a little more, but then there's the set where, you've got to be on your game and at a moment's notice. So it's like, you might be waiting 2 hours or 3 hours, and then boom, they're like, hey, we're calling her down. So that's kind of how that goes. And, just professionalism, what I always teach, and, and having etiquette. And I mean, if somebody else is making drama, you don't have to do it. It takes two to tango. I tell people, two to fight. You don't do it.
Absolutely. So speaking of sets and speaking of movies, you're a part of probably one of the most recognizable films of the 2000s, Anchorman. So one of my questions is this. Anchorman's almost celebrating its 20-year anniversary coming up.
I know.
And so how did you get involved with the film? And also, in your humble opinion, how has Anchorman become an important part of pop culture?
Oh, those are great questions. Well, my agent got me the audition, for another big movie, and I was going up for that kind of at the same time. So there was a lot of well-known actresses going up for my part, in Anchorman. And a couple days later, after I met with the producers, they were like, hey, they want you, and I didn't even have to do, go meet them again or do what's called a second callback. So, I talked to my manager at that time, and he and I discussed, he goes, now the other movie, he says, it's a bigger part. He goes, but he goes, I just feel, he goes, this role with Anchorman, he goes, I think it's going to be iconic. He says, he goes, I feel like it's going to be a huge film. And so, next thing I know is it was the best decision, and, I was really, 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 really honored to be on set. Adam McKay is amazing. Paul Rudd, Christina Applegate, and Will Ferrell. Almost forgot Will. He's gonna kill me. But with all the different A-list celebrities throughout the film, that's why I would say that it's so popular in pop culture. And in my opinion, this is my opinion, but the pretty much the entire script, people don't know, like I have the script, the actual script, but then there's, pretty much through the whole entire thing, even our scene was all improv. So
really?
we did it like the script. And then we did it the other way. We like improv. So we did it the script one time, and then he was like, go for it. And pretty much through the entire thing, it is improv. And, Christina Applegate, she wasn't crazy about that. She didn't like it, but, I love improv. So, we had a good time with it. Adam's like, try to throw Will off, the director. I was like, yeah, okay. So, but I believe that because of all the one-liners, that have been listed across, unbelievable, numerous websites. And, I think it's some of the funniest lines, in my opinion, in history. I mean, I just feel like they're timeless. The stuff that they say and they come up with, it's just like, you can watch it again and again. I mean, I've gone out, I can't tell you how many premieres, and I'll watch it again and again. And I'm like, oh my God, that's funny. I didn't even, you know what I mean? I mean, there's so many things going on. Like, what does San Diego mean?
And also, not to mention the gifts and almost all of the Rob Burgundy stuff, including podcasts, and also especially congratulations to Christina Applegate, who just got her star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
I know. I'm so grateful for my girl. She's amazing. She is a sweetheart. So she deserves all the success that she gets. So I'm really proud of her. So
Absolutely. And it's amazing too with all the stuff that comes on. Like I remember like there's so many lines of like this is independent news with Roddy. It's like I can say this online, but I don't want to get canceled. So like with Ron Burgundy and Tits McGee, and Tits McGee is not coming to the thing tonight. I am Veronica Cornerstone.
I know.
It's one of my all-time favorite lines. It's like the thing is with that movie is a laugh out loud, laugh until you're blue in your face movie.
Yeah, well, it's funny because my mom, people would find out, I'm her, like, that I'm her daughter, and people would be coming up to her and goes, "My God, I love Anchorman," and they would start quoting lines. My mom's like, "Okay," they're guys that are coming up and saying, "Oh, I love this," and then she's like, "Okay," she's not as deep with it. She's, and I love her, but she's like, she was not really into that kind of slapstick comedy. But she goes, "I enjoyed it, but it's a movie where you park your brain at the door, and you laugh and you just let loose." But yeah, there's so many things that I can't even tell you that they could have done another film just off the improv scenes.
And that would have been another box office success, but we got to leave Ron Burgundy and Anchorman behind because in addition to acting, you're also part of the cryptocurrency world. So when did you get interested in cryptocurrency?
Oh, well, I first got into cryptocurrency around, it was about 6 years ago. And when I invested into cryptocurrency, it was a friend of mine that got into it. And, he told me about it. He made money. And, I kind of did my own research on it because I was like, he made a good amount of money. So from that point on, I started investing, in other cryptos such as, Tron, Ethereum, Bitcoin, XRP, Grove Token. I love Grove Token and Income Island. I'm a co-owner of Income Island, which is, it's a hyper realistic metaverse. I love Vault Finance, and there's numerous others that I work with and just have invested in. So that's how I got involved 6 years ago.
That's just amazing, and I think cryptocurrency has come a long way.
Oh yeah. I keep telling people, Jake, if you really got into it, and any of your viewers that are watching, what you've got to understand is we're only 4 to 5% right now in the market, and that's worldwide. So think if you were at the bottom of, like, how rich do you think you'd be right now if you invested into Amazon or Google?
Pretty rich. If we were on the ground level, we would have been rich. And it's like so weird. I kind of wish that my folks would have got some tickets to Apple and to Disney and to Amazon.
Yes. I have friends that are like, "Man, I didn't even know how big eBay was going to be," and they were like, they had opportunities to really, be big investors at the time. So it's just like, I tell people, this is it. I tell people to come on my Twitter if they want to know anything about, crypto or Web3. That's the place to go. Twitter Spaces, people talk. I also, if people DM me, I get back with them, or I, refer them to somebody else that could help them. So the cryptocurrency market is definitely something that's booming right now, even though people are saying, "Oh, it's not, things are tanking or this or that, or the whole FTX thing." And I'm like, listen, it's like with the stock market, anything, it goes down and up and all that stuff. We've seen the real estate market. I remember when people are like, "Oh my God, don't buy Dubai." Now people are like, "Oh, it's a buying market. It's a buying market." So it's just, it's going to go in waves, and, you just stick to your guns, and I'm telling you, you could do very, very well. That's all I'm going to say.
That's great to hear, Darcy. And a lot of people look to you for advice on cryptocurrency. 1.1 million followers on Instagram is no laughing matter.
Well, thank you. Well, I've got 7 million, a little over 7 million worldwide. And so each, social media has a different kind of viewership in terms of, my fans, I call my family, my fans family. They basically, Twitter is different than Instagram. Instagram's a different whole, crowd than my Facebook. YouTube, same way. So, Twitter is really the way if you want to get into cryptocurrency, if you want to, get in with communities. That's what I say. I mean, I have my own NFT coming out, Stardog. So, hey, if you want to invest, I'm your gal. I'm doing it. So it's tied to film. So I'm really excited about that. My NFT is. So, we're going to be probably in the next 2.5 months, we're going to be releasing, my 3D NFT. And I'm excited, because we're going to be giving to charities. Investors are going to be able to, people that never had the opportunity, Jake, to be in films and television. I mean, there's somebody, all the way in Podunk, Kentucky, and they're like, I want to be in that film, and I will never have a chance. Well, they have a chance now. They have a chance to get memorabilia. I mean, think if, we were doing it when Anchorman was at the top, and then we had, you had a role in Anchorman, or if you, were in Anchorman, maybe you had a featured scene. But there's, I'm not a financial advisor. I tell everybody that. But anything that I do, I am heavily invested in. So it's kind of like we're in the same boat. Titanic goes down, I'm going down with it. So
absolutely.
I that's what I believe in. I mean, I have been offered millions of dollars, to do projects, and I look at the company or the person who's running it, I'm like, no, it's not worth it. And everybody listening, don't ever take the quick money for anything. If it's gonna damage your reputation, or if you're unsure of it, don't do it. It's just not worth it. I mean, I've seen other actors do that. They take roles that I'm like, you shouldn't be taking that role. That's not a good role for you. And then they take it and their career's ruined, because they wanted the quick buck. So, I just don't believe in that. That's the thing. I'm very, very picky, and I also will help everybody that comes on, will make you be the best self. I want you to be a person of excellence, is what I always say.
Awesome. And speaking of excellence and like helping other people out, while the cryptocurrency world has captured attention of a mostly male audience, several women like yourself has embraced it. And in your humble opinion, what are some of the barriers that are holding more women back from joining the cryptocurrency world?
Well, I do think for a long time, I think it was more of like a boys club type thing. I also believe that, men are more likely to jump in and take financial risks on investments than women typically, we're more cautious. We're like, we're going to save every penny. But overall, as women, I do see that the women in crypto, they research, rather than taking risks on investments. So, as time goes on, we're seeing more and more, crypto becoming more widely adopted. And that's, we're also seeing more and more, a lot of women. I mean, women are getting involved every single day. It's being led by women with, more of an alpha energy, like myself. We're clearing the way to, make big things happen. So I do feel like, an alpha energy is, the way for others to follow, in our footsteps, to be that kind of, person. And, some people are, they're like, Darcy, I don't want to get up in the Twitter spaces. That's not something I do. And I'm like, that's fine. You can't have all leaders, you got to have followers and you have leaders. But, I always say heavy is the crown, or heavy is the head that holds the crown. I mean, when you're a leader, that's a lot of responsibility. So, I have a lot of responsibility for people, and I got to make sure that I take care of, the people that believe in what I'm going to tell them. So, I do research. I do, see if the team's docs, if they're whitelisted, they get their smart contracts. There's a lot of things that, I do when it comes to crypto and Web3. I always tell everybody, do your research. Same thing if, Jake, if you're going out with a gal or a guy and you're like sitting there going, I got a date, you're going to sit there and do your research. You're not just going to, this guy could be a serial killer. The woman could be crazy. You don't know. So it's like, you do your research, and then you still kind of, have your backup. You're like, okay, you send it to your brother, sister, mother, dad, and say, here's their license plate in case they do anything, you take a photo of it, but it's just always, it's with anything, with banks. You can get, there's people that are skimming credit cards at the gas station, and, people are losing their entire bank account. So with anything, there's a risk. So, it's just, you got to do your research and be smart.
Absolutely. Like I'm still looking, and I'm still hearing more about cryptocurrency. So that's why I haven't jumped in yet. But I'm being more cautious, but I'm like looking, I'm doing some research, because the thing is, I do understand that cryptocurrency is going to play a bigger role for when I'm in my 40s.
Oh yeah. Well, that's why I'm saying, get on my Twitter, come find me. I'm at Darcy Donovan, and, Jake, I'll hook you up, because there's so many, I find out from everybody before it goes out. So it's like, I kind of know what's going on, but and so it's kind of like, I have, people ask me, hey, Darcy, do you think we should do this? Do you think we should do that? So, I'm heavily involved into it with some of the biggest leaders in, the market. So I was just in Twitter space with Elon Musk, and he was talking about FTX and all that kind of stuff. So, it's really insane too, who you will meet in the spaces too. Snoop might just come in, you don't know, you might have Will Ferrell drop by, or Justin Bieber. You never know who's going to be in these Twitter spaces. So I tell people, I was like, it's exciting. It's also fun, so we're at a great time right now with everything.
Absolutely. So I want to give you a couple, as we guys start winding down our conversation. So sure. Besides Twitter, what are some of the social medias that are your favorite networks?
Oh gosh, I can't say that, because they've all been so good to me. I can't. I love them all. It's like if I had kids, like I have 6 dogs and I love them all. So Twitter and Instagram, come see me. I'm on at Darcy Donovan. On Facebook and YouTube, I'm official Darcy Donovan. But I do different things on different platforms. So, but I do giveaways. I've given away jewelry, cash, mattresses, like any kind of health stuff. Watches, Rolex watches. It's been insane. The things that, I've done. We've also given away apartments in the metaverse. There's, things with crypto that, you can get. There's certain NFTs that I give away. So it's an investment, for money. So there's a lot of things that, I do and give away, especially with the holidays coming up and me pushing out Star Dogs. I like to do a holiday giveaway. I try to be like Oprah, how she used to be with all her stuff. I try to do that, because
I love I miss the favorite things segment. That was one of the best ones.
Oh my God, I so miss that too. It's
I remember her last season when they did two days of favorite things. It was just incredible, because especially I was watching the behind the scenes documentary and seeing all those people from the first group come all the way out of their stuff for favorite things, and seeing the second group and all of them were so bitter, and then all of a sudden they changed when Oprah's just said it's beginning to look like favorite things. That's just amazing.
I miss it. I do. I miss those kind of things, and I will be doing a lot of giveaways on Twitter, because of the NFT, my Star Dogs collection that's coming out. So, everybody come on there, and they may have some favorite things that they're like, Darcy, give me some diamond earrings, or I get a new watch. Hey, eventually I want to give some cars away. I want to, do some big stuff. So, I hope everybody comes and, follows me on all my channels, but, go check out at Star Dogs NFT, go online and check it out, and you'll be able to see, what I've got going on. And if you want to be an investor and see all the awesome utilities we have, You can, it's either way. I mean, even if you don't, I'd love for you to come in, be part of my community. We have a blast. I'm telling you, the people are on Twitter, Jacob, some people are on there 24 hours, and it sucks because sometimes I'm like going to the red carpet and they're like, hey, we want you to come in. Can you be our celebrity guest today? And I'm like, okay. They go in and I'm thinking I'm going to be in there for 10 minutes and it's 2 hours later and I'm running late to an event.
I gotta say, your first commitment is commitment number one. You need to follow that commitment and tell your people need to tell people. I tell people all the time, I can't say I have another commitment. So I try to give as much time as I can until I have to say cut off.
Yes, you have to know time management to be in this business, right, Jake? You
Absolutely.
have to know it.
Absolutely. So, yeah. Darcy, besides social media, where else can people find you?
Well, I mean, my website, they can go to www.darcydonovan.com. And, I post things all the time on there. I have giveaways that I do on my website. We're going to be posting about the movie that I've got tied to the Star Dogs NFTs that I'm going to be doing. And I've got a new album that I'm working on right now, but I've got a song that's going to be coming out probably within the next 4 to 5 months. They can also check me out on IMDb. That's the International Movie Database. That's where, you can find pretty much anybody in the entertainment industry, anybody. So, you can Google me. I always tell people, just Google me. You'll find me. Just Google me.
Absolutely, Darcy. Absolutely. So, guys, if you missed an episode of the Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar podcast, visit our platforms on Apple Podcasts, Deezer, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Podcast Addict, Spotify, and Spreaker. It's Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar, JACOB Now, are you on social media? I'm on social media too. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Jacob Elyachar, JACOB And Darcy, just to let you know, jakes-take.com, the blog that started it all, is celebrating its 12th year this year.
Well, everybody, Jake is awesome. So go follow him if you're not. So, it's the holidays. Give him some good cheer. Give him some hugs, some kisses. And plus, he did this amazing. I love the trees, the decoration he did. It's so adorable.
Yeah, this was from Canva. I got to be honest. This is from Canva and give it what the credit is due. I just put more of it.
He did great. So
thank you so much, Darcy. And guys, thank you so much for taking time on your schedules for watching this or for listening to this. Until next time, have a great day, everybody. Goodbye.